So in my last video, I reviewed my new Fairtex BG V1 tie gloves. In this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about hand wraps. Now, when I first started kickboxing, approximately 6 months ago, I didn't wear hand wraps. Then over time, the more I was punching, I could feel the strain on my wrist slightly. So I decided it was time to buy myself a pair. So my first pair of hand wraps, they weren't actually proper hand wraps. They were these kind of cheating things. So rather than an actual hand wrap and having the faff on of wrapping a 4 meter piece of fabric around your hand, I went for these just because they're a lot easier. They're a little bit like a glove, and they just kind of slip on like that with a little kind of bit of wrap that just wraps around. Like so, and then Velcros to secure. So yeah, so I went for these, inexpensive. They were about £6 or £7 online, and they did the job-ish to a certain point. They provided a little bit of support here. It wasn't fantastic, but they are quite stretchy and elasticy, so I don't think they would support your hand or your wrist as much as proper hand wraps. But another reason I went for, decided it was time to buy hand wraps is because I sweat tons when I'm kickboxing. Yes, it sounds gross, but that sweat constantly being absorbed by the padding on the inside of my old boxing gloves pretty much ruined them. They became very stinky towards the end. So by wearing some kind of liner or hand wrap inside the glove, that helped absorb the sweat. So this was absorbing the sweat rather than the padding on the inside of my glove. No matter how I try and clean the inside of my gloves after each class, without wearing these, my previous gloves, ruined. So that's another good reason to wear hand wraps, for the extra padding and support, and keeps your gloves nice and clean. So these ones have got a gel kind of padding on the knuckles there. They're okay. The quality isn't the best. I mean, you wouldn't expect great quality for £6 or £7, but they've only been washed a few times, so I just put them in a net wash bag, threw them in a washing machine on 30 degrees, and you can see already, you know, the stitching's coming out, there's threads showing, and I don't know whether or not you can see there, but the Velcro stitching's coming away, so it's all kind of falling apart. I'll maybe get another 1 or 2 washes out of these, and then that'll be these done. Also, I found the finger holes were a little bit tight on these. Maybe I should have went for the next size up, but I feel as if I went for the next size up, then the glove itself would be too big. So these kind of tight finger holes, I felt a bit tight, especially when I was punching, if I kind of make a fist shape like this, and they kind of dig in between my fingers, so that was a little bit annoying. So when I purchased my new Fairtex gloves, I also purchased Fairtex hand wraps as well, because I figured, well, I was really impressed with the quality of the gloves, so surely the quality of the wraps will be the same. And they are good quality. They are more expensive. These are about, I think these were £12, maybe £14 online. There's not really much to say about them, to be honest. They are 4 meter wraps. Yes, it is a faff on to wrap a 4 meter piece of fabric on each hand before every class, but they are far better quality than these, and they definitely offer more support than these. Like I said, these are quite elasticy and stretchy. They are elasticy to a certain point, but you just feel as if you're getting far better support from these. And again, they of course soak up some of the sweat. So I think the thing I was a bit concerned about when I first got these is the Velcro strap seems quite thin, so I wasn't sure how long that would last. These have been through the wash quite a few times now, and even though they are looking a little bit tatty around the edges and the corners there, you can see, I don't know whether or not you can see, but the stitching on the Velcro strap is still completely intact. So my initial worries about how thin the Velcro strap was were unfounded, because they have lasted quite a while. They come in different colours. I initially bought the black, and then more recently, a week ago, I went for the blue ones, so I just wore these in my kickboxing class today. So these are all unravelled. So again, you've got the single Velcro strap, and at the other end, you've got this kind of thumb loop. So that pretty much just kind of like hooks over your thumb, like so, which just makes it easier to wrap your hand and put those in place. Like I said, I wore these in today's class, so these are a bit smelly. Like I said, there's not really much to say about them. They do the job. These do the job to a certain extent. I can't really grumble for the price, but you know, it was always going to happen that I was eventually going to upgrade to proper hand wraps. They are more of a faff to put on than these, like I said, but you just need to make sure that you give yourself an extra 10 minutes before class to make sure you've got time to wrap your hands.